Uganda is anxious and excited about the upcoming state visit of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Since ascending to the helm of leadership in India in 2014, Modi is credited for fast-tracking India's socio-economic development. Modi's visit will be the third to East Africa after visiting Kenya and Tanzania a few years back. In this UBC documentary, we take stock of India's and Uganda's bilateral ties, which date back as far as the 19th century.
Mr. Shri Narendra Modi, he has visited Uganda once as a Chief Minister of Gujarat, but he is visiting first time as a Prime Minister of India. And what his visit means to us, see, the return of investment is highest in Africa all over the world. And the message has to go to all other business houses in the world and especially to India that come to Uganda, invest here and do business. The climate of Uganda is very welcoming. The people are so welcoming, and it's one of the virgin market. And because of the East African Union, there is a huge market available if the investors comes to Uganda.
He has been third largest popular leader in the world today in terms of popularity. So he has done a magic in fan following. Let me give a little bit background of, as you mentioned, that let me give a little bit background of who is Narendra Modi.
Good.
As Narendra Modi is a very hard-working person, first I would like to put it that way. He has worked like His Excellency, our President, the way he works hard. He's also the same stature of hard-working person how I know. From last 4 years, he took a position as a Prime Minister of India. He has not gone into single day for a vacation. So you can imagine.
The Indians in Uganda are investing in different sectors of the economy. So is it possible for you to bring us up to speed about the sectors where Indians are investing and how are they performing?
Glad to tell you that yes, Indians are investing in a very big way in all the sectors.
Wow.
But major focus, the way I see, definitely irrigation. Many investors are looking at it. There is whoever I have talked, they have been talking. There is a big scope in irrigation,
In agriculture.
in agriculture, in service industries. Since oil and gas industry is going to take off in next couple of years, there are many associated related business services related to oil and gas is coming across. I can tell you also in IT, India is a hub here, and in IT, a lot of people are eyeing towards it, that how they can expand. You talk about in tourism, Indian origin people are getting approached that how we can explore Uganda as a destination of tourism. Unlike my fellow Chinese, they've just started popping up in the last 20 years. If you look at globally, last 100 years, wherever Indians have gone, they've stabilized into their country and try to work within the available opportunities to improve the economic section of the country.
Of course, Uganda is a new entrance into the oil and gas market, and we have a lot of things to learn from our brothers and sisters internationally. And Uganda, of course, has been active in oil and gas for the last 10 years, but it has not gone into the production stage, which is what now we are aiming for. And I think the Indian companies or companies from India has a lot of expertise in those areas. If you look at it, the biggest Indian multinational oil and gas company is ONGC, who has already the interest in South Sudan and Sudan for many years. They are one of the production partners there. There's another Indian company who is a world leader in refining with Reliance. which is the biggest refinery in the world, is in India. There are other EPC companies from India, L&T, who has done the pipeline in Tanzania. There is a company called Dotsal in Tanzania who is doing the drilling. There is another company called Genolex who has licenses in Kenya. So there are a lot of Indian companies and Indian origin companies who can help Uganda to achieve his vision and his aim to go into the oil and gas phase, because this definitely needs a lot of expertise. And this can only be achieved with the help of already gained expertise internationally, and I think Indian companies can help, not only in from the company point of view, but also training the Ugandans, because they are, of course, we need a lot of welders, we need a lot of fabricators, we need a lot of handling operators, truck drivers who are specialized into moving this kind of cargo, and that is what I think Indian companies, Indian expertise can come and train Ugandans.
There's a cross-section of the public who allege that Indians make money in Uganda and repatriate almost all the profits back into India, probably in India, or some of them of course have investments elsewhere. Do you agree with this school of thought? Is it true? Is that a school of thought, right? Or is it false?
So unlike multinational companies, if you compare the Indian business houses with any multinational companies, I don't want to put specific name, they have put in one industry. From 20 years there is only one industry there. But the Indian business community have grown from one industry, they entered into another industry, and that proves and shows that the money was not repatriated. Most of the money was kept in Uganda to develop their Ugandan economy. Even people are investing in the properties, they bought houses, they are staying here. So where the money has gone out? No.
Were brought here by the British because they were forced to come here as laborer to build the railway from Mombasa to Kampala.
Though you can see the Amin's era is ended with we also know that the current government, the NRM, they are supporting the investors. They are trying all that how the new investment to come. They are giving them all the possible way to work with the harmony. And the atmosphere for investors is definitely good.
Let me tell you, Idi Amin is history. And we don't even think about it, we don't even discuss about it. Whatever happened at that time is history, and it should be laid to rest in history. Today, the coming of our Prime Minister marks a new era in the relationship between India and Uganda. We are hoping that with this, a lot of new investment will come from India into this country.
So it is Uganda has transformed a big way since when I came in, and now it used to be a seller's market. When we came, people used to put the cash on hand and wait in the line to purchase the things. The seller was because nothing was available here. So people has to buy it in cash and has to limited sellers. So now the situation is completely different. So now it is a buyer's market. Sellers has to reach to the customers and explain the products and all those things. So the business has grown in a multifold, and this is basically our President of Uganda and his vision to grow this country into also a big country in at least in Africa, and also people should recognize. So the economy is started growing very fast, and I've seen a big change. And this is a credit should go to our President, His Excellency Museveni.
I'm so sure you've been following up on Uganda's budget. The 2018-19 budget centers on industrialization. As the guys who are out there who own and run industries, do you think Uganda is on track as far as industrialization is concerned?
About cost of doing business and industrialization, Uganda is one of the costly country in Africa to do the business. The cost of doing business is a bit high because of the power and some other reasons. And about industrialization, this country has to do a lot, because in the East African community, Kenya and Tanzania are big brothers, and they are taking the maximum benefit about the East African community. Uganda is lacking there, and we need to protect our Ugandan industry or find some creative solution so that the big brothers does not leave us behind. And in this budget, one important thing which I have noted is that instead of increasing the tax base in the country, the budget is milking the same cow again and again. I think in all over the world, the efforts are being made and need to be made in Uganda also to increase the tax base in the country instead of milking the same cow. If you will too much milk the same cow to pay as much tax as possible, that company or industry will die. And here the policymakers need to think on that one. Indians residing in Uganda, we are only 0.07% of the total population. But we contribute to the national budget 60% of the revenue. That is a point to be noted. And the Indian community or the Indian business houses are leaders in the various sectors of the economy. You name it as a printing, you name steel, you name construction, you name IT, you name sugar, you name tea. The Indian business houses are the leaders in most of the economic sectors of Uganda. We have some wish list which we have given to our Prime Minister's office, to the High Commission, and we are expecting that India has not yet allowed the dual citizenship. Yes. And if India allows dual citizenship, which Uganda has already allowed, many of the Indians would like to adopt Ugandan citizenship because they are staying here, they are going to stay here, and they will die here.
And this is their
so the government of India, we are asking and requesting that they should allow the dual citizenship. Also, we are asking our Prime Minister that they should make a think tank called Africa Think Tank from the non-resident Indians who are residing in Uganda or any parts of Africa, and a policy should be made towards an Africa to support Africa and to get maximum benefit of this partnership.